So
which
because
I don't know
I'm
why.
thinking we on the same page as far as like, look, I just want to be out child support. We thought it was that simple. Like she can just go take me off child support. Whatever. No.
She was in agreement to take you out child support.
Initially,
Oh, okay. So it changed at some point.
because the courts let us know that we don't. It don't work like that.
Oh, wow. Okay. So let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Which why not?
She's in
What did the
agreement
court
to
let
take
you
you
know?
off of child support. Do you all fill out any papers
We-
to agree?
Well, her part was kind of ended fast because the state let her know I had signed the announcement of paternity.
Right.
So the state of Texas, child support, we don't care if he ain't. That's really what it boils down to, right?
Clearly.
We don't care. So before the child support stuff
messed up
happened,
law.
I had to challenge the announcement of paternity.
Okay, so let's put a pin drop about court. Let's focus on the acknowledgement of paternity for a minute. So you were told you had to challenge it. What did that process look like?
Judge
So
looking
the
like a chocolate
process
snack.
is you basically
Respectfully, she married. Respectfully.
You have to have some type of proof, which was the DNA test. However, I hadn't taken the DNA test at that time through the courts. And so my DNA test or our DNA test that we pay for on our own technically wasn't admissible in court
Because it wasn't court ordered.
because it wasn't court ordered. And so
But then
in the mix
never
of
mind.
challenging the announcement of paternity, you at the
I was
time,
about to say
I
you
don't know
spent
the
all that
law
money,
exactly,
but
at that
it
time you
wasn't
had
in
5
court
years.
regardless, so.
And
No matter what
so
you
the
spent.
state thought that my 5 years were up because by this time, Lil Myron is 5. However, I didn't sign the acknowledgement of paternity until he was 1. So that means I still would have had another year, an
okay.
additional year left.
Oh, and the state tried to snake.
So they realized that, so they make me take
And that's
a court
whack
order
that
DNA
they
test.
just would try
Okay.
to
So that
even
way
get
it
him
could
like
be
that.
on
And they're
record
just a
that
state.
so the results didn't change.
All right, so you challenged the acknowledgement, realized you still had time within the legal realm. You did what you were supposed to do with the court order DNA test. Everything is good, right? You're out child support.
No.
That's not what happened.
That's not what happened.
What
Why
happened?
not?
So the judge at the time, and I don't remember her name, it's been so long, but she made what she considered a moral decision.
She actually told you that.
Yeah, she said.
What's the judge's
her
name?
decision was that
We might find this
because
judge's name. I might
had been in his
Google
life
it and put it in a
no
clip
one
or
else
something.
was coming in the courtroom
From
basically
way back
saying that
then.
they was the father, that she felt like that I was morally responsible, pretty much. I don't know her exact words verbatim, but it was around the realms of until she had somebody come in the courtroom to say that they was the father, that I was legally still going to be responsible. Although
Why?
legally, I had did everything my
How?
attorney had proven my case.
See, this is
Wow.
So
why.
he was about.
That should be
I want to say this was
illegal.
around
You should
2000.
be
This
damn
was
near
at the end of
disbarred for
2009.
that.
And so what she did was I think it's the word that's used,
That-
abate. She abated my child support. So people have to understand you have child support and you have medical support.
Right.
And so they the same thing, but they totally different. Like you
What
owe
does
this
she
in child
do
support,
before I
medical
get mad?
support has its own.
Let me
interest.
find out because
Right,
I'm
right.
still
It just-
trying
when it
to
lump sums,
figure out
it
about
comes
this
out in
judge.
It comes out in one.
Got you.
Right.
We ain't let her off the hook yet, but
so
I'm trying
she
to figure out
abated
what
my
she
child
did.
support, and at that time, I don't know. Let's say I was paying $250 a month. I don't know. It wasn't an extreme amount, but she left me to pay medical support,
Which was how much?
up until just last month.
To your knowledge, in speaking with your attorney,
What-
is that
how
even
much?
legal?
No,
I
it
don't-
can't
I
be
don't-
legal
I
because
don't
she
know.
listen. No,
I
no,
don't
no, no.
know.
To his knowledge, I don't know. This is my channel, so I'm gonna tell you to my knowledge. Hell no, that's not legal. And the reason why it's not legal is because he was innocent, and she still sentenced him. This is like the jury coming back saying, we find the defendant not guilty. And the judge like, well, you know what? It wasn't nobody else. We don't got nobody else to pin this on. So until they find somebody else, we just gonna put you in jail. Like, no. 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 Look at that. No. He might say, I don't know. No. What the hell?
It has to be because they made me do it.
It has to be because they made you do it.
So,
No.
You know, the funny thing about it is that, you know, some people would say, well, how much is it? It's like, it don't matter.
It
Like,
don't matter how much it
you know, the
is.
way I look
How
at
much
it
is what the health
like how
insurance?
much did you? Yeah, it's like I think it's $25, $30 a month. You know, but imagine having to give somebody that you don't know, you know, $30 out your money.
That's
every
actually
month
not a lot,
for
but
14
it's
years.
still, it's
It
the
might not add up
principle.
to nothing but $300-400 a month.
And then
I mean,
it said
a
it's
year. But when you times that
14
over 10,
years, like you're just
11, 12
taking
years,
money.
You know, that could have been money anybody could have used. My biological kids could have needed it. I mean, I could have needed it.
I get
And so I'm
mad
not
when
upset
stuff that is
necessarily about the
that are
financial
my
part of it
bills
because I
come
had to
out
adapt.
unexpectedly.
But
I got
it's
mad
just
yesterday when
people don't
Amazon
know
took
that,
$16, and I was like,
the
yo,
ideal of the announcement of paternity can be
it's crazy how it
very
make you want to order
confusing
something.
thing.
When Amazon
And
take your
powerful
Prime
sounds
money,
like,
make you want to
yeah.
order
So
something.
I would suggest
They
to
some
men
snakes.
First off, don't sign one unless you have a DNA test
Okay.
first.
All right.
Right.
That's what I would say.
That's some good advice.
You know,
That's some great advice.
that's probably the biggest thing. And you know, be careful, be mindful of you know who you sleep with. You know, protect yourself, all of that good stuff. You know, but a kid is a beautiful thing, and you know, and so to be a man and be in a situation where you take care of one for almost 5 years and find out that it's not yours, to just do something to you. That's one emotion in itself. Like I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. But then to have to still be financially responsible for that child for the amount of time that I was,
And how much time are we talking about exactly?
I know he was, let's say 5 when we started going to court. He just turned 18, so at least about 13 years. And that's not including the child support that I was paying, you know, when I thought he was mine.
Right.
You know, and so those numbers add up.
Yeah.
You know,
Imagine
and
being him, though.
I'm on child support for my other kids too. I don't complain about it. It's not the child support. It's just the idea those are my kids.
He said he's
Right.
18.
And so
Hold on,
I'm
let me go
responsible
back.
for them.
What are we talking about exactly?
I know he was, let's say 5 when we started going to court. He just turned 18, so at least about 13 years. And that's not including the child support that I was paying.
Right, he don't see. He
You
see.
know, when I thought he was.
You probably seen
Right.
this video.
You know, and so.
But
those
it ain't
numbers
his
add up,
fault. He ain't really, you know what I'm saying?
You know, and I'm on child support for my other kids too. I don't complain about it. It's not the child support. It's just the idea those are my kids.
Right.
And so I'm responsible for them. And so to be in a situation to where you could literally legally be locked up or jailed because of child support or lack of, you know, what if I fell off and not been able to work?
Right.
You know, they could really still come after me. I doubt they probably would have, but I don't know. You know, and so
No, they would have if they're so petty that
So about
they'll
the-
make you pay after you
said you
ain't the
turned
daddy,
18,
and
graduated high school.
make you only have 5 years to figure it out.
not aware of that.
And
Okay.
after you
Alright.
figured out,
So
the
you
judge
all
like, I still don't
have
care.
any
Hell
type of
yeah, you would have went to
communication or
jail for
anything.
child
You and
support.
the child.
Me and the child, no. I talked
Hell
to his
yeah.
mom maybe about 6 months ago. But my middle son and little Myra ended up running in the same track meet, but they don't unaware of it.
Right.
And I ran into her like at a red light or something, and she, you know, there's no hostility between me and her now. You know,
Time has passed.
time has
so-
passed.
And it
you
ain't
know, and
the,
I don't
the-
even.
okay. The
I don't
baby
have
part
any-
her
the-
fault,
the
but the
animosity
child
I may have
support
had
fault
years ago
ain't
against-
her
like I have
fault.
none at all. I just,
So
I just
he
feel
done
like my
had
story is
15 years, 14, 13 years to get over.
It changed
12
my
years
life
to get over
financially, for sure.
that part.
You know,
So I can understand not
You-
being mad
I
at
know
her
you
about that.
mentioned You could have used
After
that money
these
for
years.
yourself, and then you had other kids. How many kids do you
It
have
ain't
now?
her fault, the child support part.
All right. And how many were in existence at
kids.
that time?
2.
2. Okay. And 2 in addition to Little Myron, right?
So that would have been 3.
3. Okay,
Right.
I follow you.
Right.
Yeah. So you said that it changed your life financially.
Well, you know, and I'm not saying financial because of the child support per se. I'm saying like the court fees, the attorneys, the missing work. I went to court for 2 years straight every 3 months. Literally, I was going to court every 3 months, and that's not including my other kids were small at the time too. So I have to deal with their mothers too. You know, so it's nothing
That's
against
wild.
the moms, right? It's I'm dealing with this child support system,
What you
and
get
like I say, for
out
two
here
of them,
having these
I show them
babies.
court like it's nothing. You know, for
Because
the
they were your
because they
children,
mine.
yeah.
So whether or not I'm right or wrong, I have to
But
deal
at
with
least
those
he a good
consequences.
dad, though.
You know, but you know, in the case with you know the one that's not mine, you know, mentally they just play with you. And, you know, I didn't really realize until I got that withholding order, the termination. That's when it clicked. It was like, he did this for 18 years.
What is the withholding order of termination that you're referring to?
So the same way they send, it's called an IWO, income withholding order.
Okay.
The same way they send it to your job to tell them to take $500 a month from you, $250 every 2 weeks or whatever. Well, this time my box had termination.
Okay.
So it was them terminating my child support order for them to keep taking money from me for him,
For the health insurance.
for the health insurance.
Okay.
Right.
So they
Wow.
finally
So
stopped.
after 13 years.
Yeah. So that's what kind of like hit home for me. That's when
And
the
for
light bulb
him,
went out, like,
all
you
that
really-
long, it was
you
just
really
like
went through
FICA and all the rest
it.
of it.
So that's what we
And
did.
when it
So
stopped,
you
like,
gave
yo, you've
people
been
some
doing
great
this
advice
long, dog.
in terms of not signing the acknowledgement of paternity, using protection, all those type of things. In hindsight, now that you're sitting here discussing it, what are some things that you take
That's a
accountability
lot of
for
money,
and say
man.
you would have done different?
I don't care what he talking about.
First, I was just being responsible to start off.
When you
I
add
do you
it
mean
up
by being
over
responsible?
13
should
years,
have never been in a position.
It's
to
a lot of
where,
money.
You know, a woman that I was sleeping with, child is not mine. You know, whether you look at that as being married or you look at that as being in a committed relationship, whatever, however.
Nah,
whichever way
hell
it fit,
no. We adding
that's
it up
probably
right
the
now.
first thing, and then
We about to do the math. Let's get to his math. So, first of all, he spent. I mean, I spent. He said $30. He said 30 a month or 30 a check. Was it 30 a month or 30 a check? What we doing? Did he say 30 a month or 30 a check? We're just gonna do 30 a check. He said 30 a month. We're gonna do 30 a month. So that's 30 times 12 times 13. It ain't that much. It's 4,600. It's a lot of money though. It's $5,000. We calling it $5,000. We rounding it up. Over 13 years, it don't seem like a lot, but it's a lot when it's not supposed to be taken from you. So we ain't gonna minimize it because it don't seem like a lot, but it's a lot. So yeah, we making it a lot. It's a lot.
and I'm accountable for not doing some of the smart things that I would tell any man to do right now,
Which
You
is
know,
what?
which is
Listen to the grandmother when she say go get a DNA
you
test.
know, listen and you know, going. We humans, right? So we emotional. So sometimes you can get attached to a kid real fast, and you're like, I don't want to do this, because it might be a week or 2 weeks, but then you end up hurting yourself and that child, you know, in the long run. I don't think Lil Myron suffered per se, like, because like I said, he was unaware of it for years. But in the long run, he probably has at some point, like, where is he at? Or why he?
Yeah, if you ain't got
why
no
he's not
daddy.
around? And, you know, even for his
Of course
mom to
he
have to
suffered.
tell him or me to have to tell him or whatever. So, just being accountable and responsible and you know, safe. Like I say, that's the biggest thing, because when you're not responsible, you do stuff like have unprotected sex, or you have many women,
2 kids in a
different, you know,
year.
many different partners, and you're not, you know, protecting yourself, and so you end up with
2
the
kids in a year.
possibility of a child not being yours because you don't know what this other woman's doing, but you're doing it too. You know what I mean? So, like I said, I don't bash women at all for
Right.
those kind of
He's
situations.
smooth. You know what I'm saying? He a cool dude.
Because I don't. Again, I don't think
Yeah, obviously he a
in
lady,
my
man.
situation that it was like that. Like she was trying to set me up for it. I don't think it was that. Even though some cases you have, they'll do it. I don't care. I think it's yours. I think it's yours. I think it's yours. But my case wasn't like that.
Right.
You know. So.
So let me ask you. I have to ask because it is playing in the back of my head.
I
Did
wanna
you go
know, too.
back to your grandmother and family members and apologize to them or to tell them you were right or anything like
I have.
that?
I didn't really.
He ain't had no
I have,
choice.
because
He had to go see his grandma.
it's really funny because I got a lot
I
of
don't know
episodes,
what
so,
she
and not
Now we
like,
gotta go back to grandma. I told you, baby. Baby, I told you now you know your grandma know. Your grandma know. Your grandma- I don't know what she said this time. I knew about them Johnson lips. I don't know what she told his dumb ass
not
next
like
time.
no
Cause whatever she told him,
Demeaning
she
way?
probably been
way.
telling
Okay.
his
It's
little
just
silly
like
ass
I knew it.
his whole life.
But they head of yours,
She
whatever
hit
it
him.
is, so
She said ahead.
I have.
Yo,
So,
listen, no, he did not. I did not just hear that.
So
So let me ask you. I have to ask.
I did
because
not
it
just
is
hear that.
Playing in the back of my head.
Did she say the
Did
head?
You go back to your
I
grandmother
thought it was the
and
Johnson
family
lips.
members.
The Johnson
apologize
head.
to them or to tell them you were right or anything
I
like
have.
that.
I didn't really. Yeah, I have because
Hold on.
it's really funny because I got a lot of I told you so.
Duh.
And not like demeaning way.
Yeah, it's your
just
family.
Like, I knew it. But they head of yours, whatever
See?
it is.
Grandma with the my bad with
I
Johnson
have.
lips.
So,
My bad about the Johnson lips. Now you see, let me see the head. See yo, let me okay, baby. He don't got that four corner head like you got. His head. He don't got that Johnson head. You got that block head. His head round, your head block, baby. That ain't none of yours. You know, old people talk, that ain't none of yours, baby.
it turned out to be
That ain't none of yourn. They make
better
up
than what it
words.
started off.
That ain't none of yourn, child.
That's good. Emotionally today, how are
I'm good.
Yo.
Good. So, yeah, I'm good.
you? Do you think at some point, if Lil Myron were open to having a dialogue with you, do you think you would be open to do that?
Yeah,
Would you like to do that?
he cool.
I leave that up to God. If that path, if they cross, I will.
Obviously,
I
you
used to
gonna
tell her
talk
that
to him.
though. I used to be like, if he ever get of age and he want to talk to me, I'm gonna be honest with him, and not to
Not to bash.
had
not
to
to
see
bash
this
at all,
video.
just to have
Hopefully
to give
he
some
see this
clarity
video.
as to why I wasn't around no more.
I ain't talk about his mama, did I?
You know,
No, I
so,
said she was a liar.
yeah,
She
if
is.
that
I don't
happens,
care.
hey, I'm all
That's
for
grown
it.
people. She
I'm
was.
not necessarily
She was.
looking for
She
it,
was a
but,
liar.
you know.
Respectfully.
Because it could be uncomfortable.
And I didn't ask you when you mentioned it. You said you saw her at a red light. Did you?
Yeah.
The two of you exchange words, or did you just look
No.
at each other?
No, we did. Actually, she was kind of like behind me, and I had my windows down, and she said, "Big Myron." She the only person that called me that. And so when I turned around,
Right.
I was like, hey, Then I asked about him, of course, because he was 17 at the time. I actually went on his his Instagram, and looked at some pictures of him and his TikTok page, and so I scrolled through and looked at him. He's a handsome little dude, so
He turned out all right.
he did.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, in the end, that's the good thing.
Well, that's
right?
good.
it is.
That is the good thing. Well, Mr. Johnson, I appreciate
he
sharing
had
your
health
story,
insurance.
not only with myself, but with the viewers. I'm pretty sure something that you said has not only encouraged someone to listen
Right.
and to maybe make different decisions, but it has also helped someone in terms of if they're in that situation and going through challenging an acknowledgement of paternity, knowing the legal ramifications of an acknowledgement of paternity. I definitely think you answered those questions here today, and that is commendable. So thank
Right.
you for joining
And-
our
Thank you for
show.
having me.
Don't
Thank you
just
for
be
having me.
doing anything
Thank
trying
you
to
guys
get that
for
child
tuning in.
support
Make
check.
sure you like, you share this video.
Make sure you
also
like
subscribe
and
to
share
our
my
channel,
video
and we look
and
forward to having
subscribe to
many
my
more
channel.
stories
And we
similar
do-
to Mr.
to have-
Johnson's in the future.
Having many more stories that we react to, like Mr. Johnson's. Like and subscribe.